Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today we're talking about stablecoins once again. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin linked below the video in the description. Go ahead and grab it, and let's get into stablecoins. So stablecoins are definitely the unsung hero in the crypto space, but we could be about to see some pretty interesting regulation and clarity on stablecoins with the new Stable Act in the United States potentially getting passed as soon as Q2 of 2025 here. And again, what we've been seeing over the past number of months, in particular since the confirmation of the new administration in the United States last November upon the elections, is a huge increase in the amount of stablecoins being minted and tokenized on chain. If we look back here to the end of October, beginning of November, you can see this sharp spike to the upside in total amount of stablecoins being minted and tokenized on chain, rising from about 172 billion all the way up to 227 billion where we're at today. Again, USDT Tether and USDC Circle being the two largest stablecoins by total crypto market cap. We're going to take a look at those in a moment, but clearly we can see that Ethereum's blockchain still being the number one leader in terms of stablecoin tokenization. In terms of overall market cap, you've got Tron, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum, Base, Avalanche, Sui, Aptos, Polygon, and a few others that are starting to get more and more stablecoins issued and minted on chain. But Ethereum, Tron, and Solana still the big three, and Solana making up more than 50% of total stablecoin tokenization. So lots of interesting stuff happening here. And if we jump over to USDT Tether, what we can see is since that confirmation, again, you can see the spike reflected on the Tether market cap chart here pretty obviously since those confirmation of the US election results in the States on the 5th of November, a direct spike to the upside here. We've seen an increase in total crypto market cap for Tether of almost, actually pretty much 20%. If we zoom in on the chart here and we actually increase this further, every time I come in here, I have to draw this line a little bit higher because we're seeing new stablecoins being minted from Tether and Circle pretty much on a weekly basis at this point. But what we've seen is a 20% increase in total crypto market cap for Tether, going from around 120 billion to almost 145 billion in overall market cap. Again, last time we saw this type of parabolic move to the upside was really throughout 2021. And what we saw back in 2021 was obviously a pretty strong bull market with stablecoins being minted, stablecoins acting as that on-ramp for people in order to get capital into the crypto space, and then adding huge amounts of liquidity for people being able to swap in and out of digital assets. So in my opinion, I do think this is quite a bullish signal for the remainder of 2025 moving into 2026, because this sharp increase to the upside that we're experiencing now in Q4 of 2024 into Q1 of 2025 is very reminiscent of what we saw throughout this entire period during 2021. Again, jumping back here over to the chart, if we look at what's been happening with USDC Circle, we can see this is an even crazier increase in terms of total market cap for Circle. Looking at the chart here, and again, going back to that November 5th timeframe, obviously a pretty dramatic rise in terms of overall market cap. Circle has minted an additional 73% or so. If I bring this up again, 74% increase in this Circle market cap since the confirmation of those election results in the United States. We've gone from a market cap of 34 billion to over 60.5 billion in essentially a 4 to 5 month window. So this is a huge increase in total market cap for Circle. And again, a lot of this coming on the back of better regulatory clarity and the fact that Circle has one-for-one backed US dollar stablecoin issuance. And what we're seeing is the potential for this Stable Act to get passed, hopefully bringing more regulatory clarity and really opening up the floodgates for stablecoin usage for businesses in the United States. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more business-to-business settlement and cross-border settlement with stablecoins once we get that better regulatory clarity. Couple of other things I wanted to mention here, specifically related to stablecoins and stablecoin dominance and how that pertains to what's happening with the price of Bitcoin and what we might be in for the rest of this year. If we jump over here, this particular chart that we're looking at is the combination of USDT Tether and USDC Circle and their dominance versus the rest of the crypto market. So what you're seeing is essentially stablecoin market cap of the two largest stables, USDC plus USDT, is comprising or making up just under 8% of total crypto market cap. 7.87% is where we're at today. Interestingly, if we zoom out on the chart here a little bit, you can see that stablecoin dominance has been on the rise essentially since those middle of December highs for Bitcoin. And again, the correlation that you'll notice here, and I'm going to bring up the Bitcoin chart to show against this chart in just a moment. But what you'll notice is during times of market pullbacks, so when you're seeing Bitcoin pulling back, when you're seeing the altcoins pulling back, that typically leads to stablecoin dominance increasing. So while we saw Bitcoin having a very nice run here in Q4 into those middle of December highs, right here, what you then saw was a pullback in the price of Bitcoin during Q1 and the total crypto market pulling back as a result as well. And what that means is people will start taking profits, people will start rotating back into stablecoins, and stablecoin dominance moves to the upside as a result. Okay, again, zooming out on the chart here, you can see what's been happening with that pattern over the course of the past number of months. And zooming out to a weekly chart, if we look at what's happening on a larger scale, is essentially because crypto has been having a pretty good past 18 to 24 months, you have seen that stablecoin market cap dominance coming to the downside. Okay, what's happening here more locally is that clearly we got a bounce here off of this support level around 4.9% dominance, and we moved back up towards 8%. But interestingly, notice how that 8% level has acted as resistance here on multiple occasions over the course of the past year or two. Again, what we could be in store for is seeing this level acting as resistance here over the coming weeks or months, and then seeing a breakdown in stablecoin dominance here again, which would mean we're likely to see Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market moving to the upside. Again, let me bring this back to the daily chart, and I'm going to bring up the price of Bitcoin in a new pane just to really illustrate the point that I'm making. And what you'll see here and what you'll notice is essentially the inverse correlation between Bitcoin's price action and what's happening here with stablecoin dominance. Again, looking at the chart, you can see that stablecoin dominance was on the rise here essentially from January through end of March, Q1 of this year, but Bitcoin's price was in a downtrend. There's an inverse correlation to what's happening here. Again, looking at what happened with stablecoin dominance throughout Q4 of 2024, it was clearly on a downtrend, and that was because Bitcoin, along with most of the rest of the crypto market, was actually moving to the upside. And you can clearly see that on the chart here. There is a direct inverse correlation between stablecoin dominance and what happens with the price of Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market. So the point again that I'm making here is that if we are about to see this 8% level act as resistance on the dominance chart here, we could see us bouncing off of this level as resistance before making a move and seeing that dominance for stablecoins break to the downside. Again, of course, this is not guaranteed. I'm just showing you where it has acted as resistance here on multiple occasions, going all the way back to early 2024. And if it is to play out again here in a similar fashion with some sort of triple top, we could see that breaking down. And again, because of that inverse correlation, we should see the price of Bitcoin moving to the upside. Okay, again, this is all speculation, not financial advice. Of course, take this with a pinch of salt, but it would line up pretty nicely with what we're seeing in terms of Bitcoin dominance. If we go back over in terms of, well, both Bitcoin dominance and just the direct price of Bitcoin, we might see Bitcoin dominance peaking here around 63.5% before seeing a breakdown. That may not happen either, but the other thing that we've been looking at a lot lately on the charts here is global M2. And again, if Bitcoin is to begin to follow global M2 here in Q2 of 2025, we know with this 8 to 12 week offset, Bitcoin does typically follow M2 with that 8 to 12 week delay. That would be due to kick in by the end of April here, maybe a few more weeks of chop before that follows. But if we are to see Bitcoin begin to follow M2, similar to how it has done over the course of the past couple of years, we might see it begin to tick to the upside, which would of course mean that that stablecoin dominance is likely to break down and get rejected from that 8% level that we were just looking at. Again, this is not guaranteed, guys. I'm just trying to paint the picture of what I'm seeing on the charts and what has happened historically here over the past couple of years. Zooming out even further, once again, you can see that by the peak of the last cycle back here in 2021, stablecoin dominance was all the way down at this 2.3% level. On the chart here, you can see that area. By the time we got that real altcoin season rally, you saw stablecoin dominance into Q1 and Q2 of 2021 getting as low as 2.3%. Of course, we're much higher than that right now. So in order to see that true rally in altcoin season, we would need to see that breaking down, maybe even breaking below that 4.8% support that's been holding here for the past couple of years. We might see it break down even lower towards 3%, 2.5%. Again, remains to be seen. I'm just painting the picture of what I'm seeing. I hope this is making sense though, and obviously there's a lot of interesting things that are happening, brewing under the surface in terms of positive price action potential for stablecoins and for Bitcoin and the crypto industry as a whole. So that's it for today's video, guys. Again, if you got any value out of today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up below. I'm going to be sharing Femex here. Today's video is sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. Make sure you check it out for yourself. Tons of assets available for purchase, trading, and buying and swapping over here on Femex. Again, not financial advice, guys. Always do your own research. Check out the link below the video. Again, please drop a thumbs up before you leave. It really helps with the algorithm. I put a ton of effort into these videos, so it would mean the world if you gave it a thumbs up. Again, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and you've got a completely free gift waiting for you in the description below this video. Go ahead, grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.